Life, there you are. Richard Collins Zaku, former DCE, there you are. Eugenia Sintimedi, I see you. Senior Oprege, I see you. And Espra. Anna Awiti, I am with you too. Mr. Stephen Agla. Carl Ampa and Linda Ampa, good evening, nice to join us. Bros Barbecue, ever faithful, ever sure. Bodia in La. The Canadians have arrived, Yogi and family. Listening live from Nottingham, UK, Dr. Mubarak Ahmed, Research Fellow. A very happy birthday to one of our ardent listeners, Elam Kujawu, a nurse at Kolebu, in charge of Chenard Ward. Chenard A Ward. Happy birthday to you, Elam. Samuel Nikwe Jani from Oyarifa, Nana Ekia Muabuating Ablekuma Central. Stephen Jampo in Tinkong. Emmanuel Houston in Germany. Did I miss you last week, Emmanuel? Glad to join us. Ajiman Joseph in Community 9, I haven't seen you, but I am marking you present. I'll be charged of corruption, marking you before you sign it. You're not kind of crooning you know. Esther Yoku, I see you. Greetings to Rita Yoku. Johnny Bluku Alote. Today, no work for me, so I am fully tuned in. Thank you, Johnny. Rakwe is in Hacho. Sarah Amanful in Winneba. Elom is representing from a long traffic, exhausting traffic around Spanner Junction. Thank you, Yogi. Ben Danso is in Akropong. Says happy birthday in advance to my wife, Mrs. Juliana Obri Danso. Emmanuel Ankama says Nana, greetings from Adumasa. Hey, did I tell you there's a bar in Adumasa called the Big Apple? The Big Apple in Adumasa, and they tune in. I hope they are tuned in today. Mauli Heto, I see you. CID Tema. Davis, Ajay, Oklu, Doku, Odoko, Samsam. Mike is in Ho. Good evening. Daniel Pesese. Good evening. You know it, I'll also come and bully us immediately if I don't hurry up. Rita Yoku, I have already marked you. Malik in Adenta. Odote, Ni Odote, you haven't signed in, but I'm marking you. This is a special good evening to Engineer Ebenezer Esienyi, CEO of Gridco from Malik in Adenta. Some of my sons know how to use me. While one is here bullying me, the other is taking advantage. Nino Gento, I see you. Special greetings to the Dread Calf and Razgeg. Victor Fori will be in the maze. Busy. Once upon a time, Mr. Ghana. Good evening, Martin Pebu. Good evening to you, Dr. Sarkodia. The Peninsula Resorts. Amazing place. Sami Sonkro. There you are. Atibri Doreen. We start the way we start. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know I'll say that again. Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansakwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa, and I say thank God it's Monday. We thank God for another miracle, for the gift of life, for the gift of freedom, and the gift of choice. Here we are to perform one of radio's most important rituals. A ritual only performed on Joy 99.7 FM. Every Monday right after news night, you have to meet us here. A ritual that I call That's My Opinion. So let us gather and make truth good. Folks, our topic today, if you haven't heard, is Shiradu, Radu. That's the topic, so you better call somebody to tune in. The topic today for That's My Opinion is Shiradu. Folks, on Wednesday, November 17th, in accordance with the Article 179 of the 1992 Constitution, the Finance Minister presented a budget statement and economic policy for Mother Ghana. Basically, how much they intend to take from us and where they will take it from. Then how much they intend to spend and where they will spend it. simplified in Edumasa terms, basically. Basically, that's it. But also, he has to tell us where he has spent the monies he has already taken from us. Now, that is not an easy task. Even though I have simplified it in one paragraph, it is not that easy. There's a track record of the few in the formal sector being squeezed all the time and a bit more than those in the informal sector. The song of widening the tax net has been sung in all tones and all versions. So we just don't believe in it anymore. To us, it's just a rhetoric. The political, the talk of widening the tax net has become just a political talk. We have to widen the tax net. We have to widen, so we don't buy it anymore. Folks, in reality, the population is growing large and very fast. Also, the cost per an individual today is much, much higher than it is before. The cost for the state to look after an individual or citizen today is much, much higher than before. But we are also unable to create a lot of wealth or create wealthy citizens who can pay their own. And yet, the same citizen could be entitled to free healthcare, free maternity care for any number of births, free immunization to any number of children, free education to any number of children, free food, free uniform, free books, free boarding, free tuition. All these have no cap. It's open, basically unlimited. Free, you can have as many as 8, 3, 4, 9 children. They are all entitled to all this free stuff. But however, we have a revenue coming in, a very, very limited revenue coming in. Very limited. To fund all this free culture. Highly limited revenue to fund all this free culture. And mostly, we have to borrow at high cost to supplement some of these things, which has to be paid one day. Which has to be paid one day. Make sure that all these free things are worthy investment so that these people you are investing in can one day create some wealth so that you can get some revenue to pay back. But we have to pay back. Therein lies the woes of all our budgets today, yesterday, and probably even tomorrow. Therein lies the woes of our budget. Folks, but in the name of multi-party politics and in the name of retaining power, one must bend the truth. I went for a class on how to, look for a job many years ago. And the guy taking the course says, you shouldn't lie on your CV, but you should bend the truth. Whatever that is, folks, we have lived on bent truth for as long as it is possible. And it is probably reaching its limits. Folks, it is probably reaching its limits. Folks, I've said this quite a number of times, that some of the issues we raise here are not to be toyed with. But, I don't know, maybe, they'll just throw it away. After all, it's just my opinion. Some village chief with a mic who comes every Monday to come and mouth off into baby. But it is not to be toyed with. Folks, at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, I said I was worried about how we in the media were reporting the news. Folks, first, it was as though we were disappointed that every country had it and we did not. So we were running from clinic to hospital, chasing every allegation. And when the test came out that it was negative, you could sense some disappointment in the reportage. As dear. When are we going to get ours? Then finally, when we got it, we moved from the anticipation reportage to fear-mongering reportage. Oh my God, by June, by June, dear, we are all going to die. What is the government doing about it? And whatever government did was not good enough. They can do more. They must do more. But some of the questions we asked, during the question times were shocking. I mean, somebody asked, what if someone has COVID in a very remote village and does not report it? How will you deal with such a situation? Folks, can you imagine how a media person can ask such a question? I mean, you could tell the minister if he had his own will, say, am I God? How would I know to treat somebody in a hidden village that nobody knows that has a disease that has not reported it? How would I know? Well, folks, God help us. But again, folks, on one of our shows, I said, we are giving the government a blank check with the level of fear-mongering. And the day the bill come for COVID intervention, the day the bill for COVID intervention arrive, folks, we will run. Oh, folks, you would run. And here we are. They brought the bill. So now Usro. Usro. You said by June we'll all be dead. So I should do something. I did something. But, folks, let me commend government on the information flow during the period. That was exceptional. By all accounts, you can fault them, pinch them, do whatever it is. It was exceptional by all accounts. Really, really top. Now, I wish we had that level of information flow on many of our policies and also give certain strong directives to correct some of the ills in society, because during that time, I mean, some of the directives that were coming, I didn't even think it could be followed, but hey, they were followed, which means it is possible. Folks, do you remember the fumigation thing where, they spray chlorine, I think, in markets? Then it extended to classrooms, then churches, then everywhere. Now, I just wondered, did anyone ask how long it will last before COVID can settle in the sprayed area? After a market has been sprayed, should Auntie Amma come with the tomatoes to the market the following day with COVID? I mean, does it help? Does it kill the COVID that she's got? I mean, how did it help or not? Folks, but the burnt truth in the matter is, how much did we pay for that needless privilege? I say that because, folks, if you look at my classroom in the Republic, that was sprayed. I am telling you, if COVID had legs and it comes to see that classroom, it will run. If COVID had legs and it sees that classroom, it will run. I don't even know how COVID will survive in that classroom. Yet it was sprayed. Was it for free? No, the bill is now here. But folks, like I said, we had preached so much fear. It was a matter of anything goes. Just think of something and we shall approve it. We have chopped the money, free this, free that, and more free. Now, folks, Ishi Radu, 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 Radu. Free this, free that, and more free. And now, folks, Ishi Radu, Radu, Radu. The guys who say, Oyo Shiketa, Fin Fin Homo Bayebo. Oyo Shiketa. Folks, the questions are many. How do we pay back? And do we even trust that if we pay, if we get leveled, it will be used to clear the debt that's supposed to be cleared? Then there's the big one for us, the e-levy. 1.75 on selected transactions above 100 cedis a day. Does 100 cedi qualify one to be okay enough to be taxed? And if so, is 1.75 not too high a percentage to start with? That's also there to be argued. But the fact that, whether we like it or not, we must get money from somewhere to progress as a country. But these monies, folks, part will be used to fix our roads, and another to give out to new starters. Let me pause here and ponder on something. Folks, one of the reasons why I love my country, and I really love Ghana. I mean, did you listen to the Vox Pops as the media went round to interview hawkers that trade, by the toll booth? They did not vote for the government to create free-flowing traffic. They now feel very cheated. They have been deceived. That was not the agreement. The traffic, the traffic will flow in such a way that they cannot trade in traffic. And guess what? I read somewhere, politician from the opposition side, picking the signals and the frustration in the traders and thinking, something, when we come, indirectly saying we will bring the traffic back so you can trade. I just love multi-party politics. So here we are, traders blackmailing the government that I will not vote for you because you don't let traffic come for me to get business. The other guy comes and said, Joe, traffic will come back. You get somewhere to trade. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Folks, you see something? I mean, and I know I speak for many people. I don't mind paying the toll, but please, not in that old-fashioned way where we sit in traffic, built up. The cost of that traffic far outweighs whatever it is that we're hoping to generate at that toll booth. And I'm sure those going to Kaswa, after work, as for them, I'll tell you, if you tell them to pay Momo 2 cedis a day and not go and queue up to pay that 50 pesos, they will gladly give you that money. I mean, the traffic. I mean, if we calculate the times a day, per week, per month, per year, you probably spend 3 months in traffic a year just trying to cross a toll. But it's just that we don't sometimes sit down and really calculate and analyze these things. But if you take the average probably 30, 45 minutes a day in and out times 1 week, times 1 month, times 1 year, you are probably spending a quarter of the year just trying to pay 50 pesos to cross. How can you live like that? And somebody is saying that in that case, I'm not going to vote for the government. I love this country, folks. I love it. But folks, back to the road and the new startup policy business. Folks, there are businesses already operating that need to grow, to hire and train more people and give proper apprenticeship. So I feel expansion in those existing business, particularly in skills and tech-based businesses, will be better served than giving the money to new starters who say, I have a dream. Somebody has already started a dream. Now, I don't doubt that, somebody shouldn't start a business and everything. But when we look at the success rate, where 75% of new started business fail, then unless we do some research and find out why it is that 75% are failing, to just give money to them to go and fail without correcting why it is they fail will be dangerous. But there are some who are already existing in this hardship. So rather expand it. And then those potential failures will go there and get more experience. It is just my opinion. Folks, the issue of roads, why are we so angry? Why don't we want to pay? I mean, why are they say they are taxing us to fix the road, but why don't we want to pay? We know there's not enough to go around. However, folks, there's some sort of favoritism in road fixing. Sometimes areas have okay roads, then they get asphalted. to rub salt in the wound. Another layer of asphalt is put on top of the already asphalted road. And meanwhile, there are certain areas, Gulf City, Lakeside, Bechele, the list goes on, who are just begging for a grader. Yempeko crowd, just grader. Keke MFA kwine so kakra grader, and grade so kakra mai. So then you wonder where's the equity? What are the policies? How does it work? That one area is so deprived, begging for a grader, just grader. If a grader and then the others got asphalt, but they come overnight and put asphalt on top of their asphalt. So the people are not comfortable paying the taxes. It's not that we don't want to pay, but say you are not why not? Why not? You see, so it causes some sort of displeasure. And I think those at the helm of affairs should pay a certain attention. Now, before I go to the phones, folks, the same country where times are hard, where now you send a Momo and 1.5 has to be taken to come and fix this hardship in the system. We see people at the helm of affairs living the life of Riley. If you see the luxury vehicles heading towards that library, sometimes 40. And you think in Germany, in Italy, in London, these are economies who are pushing trillions of, dollars. They can't even do that. So where is our justification? Folks, where is our justification? I just see borehole. Not so, sink a borehole somewhere. And you will see a fleet of expensive vehicles heading to go and open that borehole. Then they'll come back and say, if you send Momo, I'll have to pay, you have to pay tax. You see, so these things, we need to watch it. Oh, if we see modesty at the top, then those at the bottom who say, oh, dear, we are in it together. But when it is as though we live in two countries, even if you come and say somebody should pay 1 peso, there will be agitation. Even if you come and say somebody should pay 1 peso, there will be agitation. So we are pleading, because this thing, we've said it over and over, government in, government out, and it's still the same. Now the icing on the cake. The icing, I think we should do a movie about it. The Auditor General's report. It will be it is like, imagine children at home, they're very hungry, and the father comes with, fine eyes, and then they just eat the fine eyes, and the children are there hungry. I mean, just ridiculous, unexplainable misappropriation in billions of cedis, billions. Nobody gets questioned, nothing. When Domlevo, yes, so baby sakakre, so crowd you to guni when you do ko. Here we are. We need to hit the reset button. I am talking too much. Folks, it's 0302 216 541. Okay, who's going to be my first caller?
Your boy from Pam Pam.
Let me hear you.
Okay. Nana, you made me laugh when you were talking about the traffic and the no toll, and one lady saying, Yebeshe. Obviously, say Yebeshe.
Yeah, and talk about my traffic.
Yeah, and it's very funny, but it's serious. But Nana, you see, who brought about the free culture in our politics? This same NPP and NDC people, and me, I have a problem because there's nothing free in politics. We the same people are going to pay. So why do you sort of give us a misdirection? For me, I know it's not free. The moment they said that, I told my people, then they're free or Ghana, then they're free in the world, in fact. You see, and the problem is not that we don't want to pay taxes. We are spending on frivolous things. Now, if we have 275 MPs or so, we have 275 VA too. One VA costs about $80,000 plus. You can't fool well in here. Nana, we are here hiring private jets for our president. We are building. If we didn't talk, they said they wanted to build a new chamber, a new parliament. $28 million car loan. They are going to pay 40%. We, the citizens, are going to pay 60%. We have loans in the bush. 38 military hospital somewhere in the bush. Or Surgical Badge. Nana, have you heard of Surgical Badge before? I think it's somewhere in Nzema. Yeah, that badge could have served as a purpose now, but I heard that badge has never been used before. Since Rawlings era, Nana, that badge was brought in over millions of dollars. So you see, the problem is that we keep on compounding on ourselves. Tagleme housing, you see that needs you, Obie Disika, so that needs you, we can't use it. STX, Nana, you can talk about a million things. And for me, my simple up that MPP and NDC cannot do anything good for Ghana for now. We should just punish them for 4 years. We should just punish them. They should go and sit on the fence and know that we have options. At least we need to hear from other people because now we can't do anything about it. And the problem is also about our morals and ethics. The fact that a banker works with money does not mean a banker should steal. So if you have a blank check as a government, that doesn't mean that go and do things that will annoy the same citizens. You see, Ghana, we are I don't know, we are a bit soft. We get annoyed and we see some comedy here and there, we laugh about it, then we get laid back about it. Because we are forceful and we are hardworking, so we always persevere. But I think it's getting to somewhere it's becoming unbearable. How can a motorway construction cost $500 million? The new motorway they say are going to construct. And you're going to tell me that a Japan deal is also worth $500 million. So in effect, you are going to sacrifice our gold in the near future to come and build a motorway.
Thank you very much, my brother. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
And good evening, Trust. You are doing well.
I marked you.
And you marked me. I needed to restart my phone before the network will work for my message to come.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but you know me, I don't change my data. So, and I love your program very much because it is aired on my favorite Monday.
Oh, good.
That's one of the reasons.
Good.
And the second reason is the facts are the most important facts that we need to consider. And I used to ask questions, but today I want to answer most of your questions. Why are they saying that because of free flow for traffic, we need to, close the motorway? That's not the issue. It's very pathetic that people cannot sell for their daily bread. So, one of the instances for voting, vote loss will be at the other corner. The issue is they sat down and thought twice that the yield levy will generate a lot of income more than the motorway. So when they close the motorway, they use the yield levy to develop rather than the motorway. Hence, they are telling us that free flow of traffic. And when you want the traffic to flow, ordinary Ghanaian person who is not having any job to do will also go down. That's one. You also ask, government in, government out, borrow. They keep on borrowing. And as you are there, you are doing project for your child to come and benefit. But the question is, our big men, what they are doing, the borrowing, are they borrowing to develop for the young ones to come and inherit, or they are borrowing for the young ones to come and pay? It's a huge question. So they are borrowing, leave the money there, the debt there, then those young ones will come and inherit. So are we voting for them to help us, or we are voting for them to play us?
Thank you very much. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana.
Hi.
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening. Who am I talking to?
My name is Joe.
Joe, let me hear you.
Okay. Nana, it's a very nice topic that you are discussing this evening. I believe strongly that we are losing the fight as a country. And the reason why I say we are losing the fight as a country is that most of the times I shudder to believe how sometimes our governments come up with policies, and from what we are being faced with now, it's pretty obvious that our political parties don't have a concrete plan to solve the kind of problems that we have as a country. Why am I saying that? For example, when people started selling around toll booths, I mean, we were all in this country. And it's pretty sure that the toll booths were not markets. They were not marketplace. But nobody saw this coming. Because now, this is an act that was being committed. It was wrong. But because we didn't tackle it when it started, it has become a norm. And people feel now that selling at the toll booth is their right and that nobody should stop them. And in any case, government has even not stopped them from selling at the toll booth. Government was operating the toll booth, and government says that I am not going to operate the toll booth again. So how does that become an offense to the government? But you know, the reason why I think we should blame ourselves is that when some of these problems start as a country, we are unable to tell into the future how some of these would result. And that is precisely the kind of situation we are in now. This is just one of the examples. There are a lot of squatters all over the place. Along the motorway, you have a lot of squatters. They are not supposed to squat on these motorways, but they are squatting there. Government will wait, will not get rid of these people. They will get settled there, and they will think it is their right for them to live along the motorways, and nobody is saying anything about it.
Thank you very much for your passion. Who's on the phone?
Yeah, I'm called Herman.
Herman, let me hear you.
Yeah. This is a nice topic that you brought today. I said something that we are bleeding, but they are still drinking our blood. We are tired, they are still whipping us. How can you abandon the toll booth? And I believe you haven't taken a trip to Brekusu before. Try one day and then take that road and see. And then take this route to Katapu.
So
I
live in Gulf City, so I don't need to go to any other road. Listen, I'm sitting in front. When I get a message, I can't read it. The car is shaking and jumping so much you cannot even read a message on your phone. And then after that, I have to go to Edumasan. So I know about roads. Oh, your line dropped. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for your good work in the motherland.
Thank you. Who am I talking to?
This is Moha Function. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Mohammed.
Say your name again.
Moha Function.
Oh, Moha, let me hear you.
We say, this one, we need to blame the government. We don't have to blame the individual. Because when they start, government were watching. And the road is the road of government, where the government officials always pass in and out. By the roadside, it was a dangerous. But we always say we're silent for what we are seeing. Now that those people have been taking their daily bread from that side, you see that they are now blaming the government because of its lack of due diligence of the government. Right from the beginning, government should have left them to know that by the roadside is not where you can do your marketing. But those people get that chance now that government is sacking them from that side. And where are they going to start again when those places not located? And beside that, before this, what they call it, closing the toll, government should have cited the people to listen to the side of the people because of the funds that come in there. And now we want it. That is what we are going to use to develop the nation. Now that you close it, where are we going to get the fund from individuals?
Thank you very much. Well, government said they only got 78 million CDs, so they can get it from somewhere else. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Freeman from Bato.
Freeman, let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana, thanks for the good work that you are doing for Mother Ghana. I'm more concerned about the taxation. You know, this Bawumia and Akufo-Addo-led government, they just come to power to come and rob us. In fact, Kwame Sefa interviewed Baumia on Peace FM. He said he don't think that tax will be is good for it's not good for mobile money to be taxed.
No, he said the little amounts. He said the little amounts. Okay. Yeah, the little amounts.
I know these politicians, they are all jokers. In fact, both NDC and NPP, they are all failures. We should try other, parties to save us from this.
The other parties come all the time. We don't vote for them. The other parties will come all the time. You'll be in film. They will come all the time. Independent, this, film. So maybe we just love to hate these two parties. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, this is Ben from Adenta.
Ben, let me hear you. Ben, it's been a while.
Yeah, of course, it's been a while. But I just disagree, with some of the points that you raised earlier.
Okay.
Yes, it's true that we got freebies during the COVID, but Ghana wasn't the only country. Even in America and elsewhere, unemployment benefits here and there.
I'm not going to cry for America.
How much did you
but I can't cry for America.
I
can't cry for America. Is America taxing 1.75 on their mumu? I can't
cry
for.
But I'm just building
crying
the point
my own
because
cry.
I heard you earlier, and your point was that we were getting freebies. You understand? Therefore, now it's time for us to be taxed. Therefore, why should we cry?
No. The freebies I talked about hasn't been covered. Free tuition, free boarding, free uniform, free health, free maternity. That has got nothing to do with COVID.
Okay, yes. Let me make my point now.
Okay.
Because that was how I understood it because you build a point from there because I was following the program chronologically or logically, whatever they call it.
The COVID was a separate. COVID, I was talking about the fumigation of the market, and I was wondering, what the effect or purpose of it was.
Okay.
Let me hear.
Okay, my main point has to do with, for me, I am okay the government taking off the tools because we don't need them. When Joy FM did their independent analysis on the morning show, for the Youngster and Co., they realized that we get over 200 million CDs every year when they calculated the statistics that was given by the Highway Authority as per how many cars fly our road and go through the tolls. But the government is still telling us that they get only 78 or so million CDs, which is a huge shortfall. I think that there are people in there who are private contractors just extorting money from the state. Clearing off is good, but the e-levy, I am not against taxation, but I am not for 1.75%. It's like a lazy approach. We were told that the finance ministry would have to bring in people from data bank and elsewhere because they were intelligent. Now, do you have to sit down, say that because Momo transactions are over 500 million, therefore it's easy for it to get 6.9 billion? That's a very lazy approach. We have people in the informal sector, contractors, masons, artisans, people who the tilers, and some of them make 4,500 a month. Some of them are paid 200 cedis a day, 150 a day, and all of that. It's not being taxed, and they can widen it. It's a lot of work. But you sit down, the lazy approach or this digitization, I can just tax people. You're going to let people rather not be doing the more transactions. I am one such person. Even now, at the bank, because of the charges, I walk to the banking hall. I don't even use the bank apps because anytime I use the app, the charge to me is just too much. So you think creatively, but Ghanaians are not against taxation. And again, as you raise the point, we want to know what is our money being used for? As you said, rightly said, the vehicles, we've been speaking about this since the Mahama days till now. They are still purchasing the V8, and every MP wants to get a V8, whereas in the UK, even parliamentarians are riding bicycles. Here, they will go and do all kinds of crimes and tell us that they need security here and there. Who wants to kill any MP? Why would they always want to ride at the back of that, purchase expensive vehicles with our money, and how much? They won't even refund all the loan. And look at the kinds of benefits that the members of parliament alone, not even the ministers of state, get. That is a lot. And the Economic Fighters League on the Joy News this evening, they were chronicling that. That is so much. We don't want that. Article 71 office holders are not a lot. But if you compute how much the judges retire on their salaries, why would you treat some people so special and you extort, you are going to take money from others, whereas you're not even creative about that? You're not going to be taxing those in the informal sector, but just taxing those in the formal sector and overburdening them. That is a point that we are making as Ghanaians, and they ought to hear us out.
Thank you very much. Nana, this topic, you be tagged as NDCU, but you know, be tapped. He says, hello, Nana. Yes, government has given all these freebies, but it should think of innovative ideas to solve the country's issues and incremental levels, and not from this e-levy of 1.75 per every Momo transaction above 100 cities. This multiple taxation, we can't afford it. The finance minister should abolish it, period. My free innovative idea about the road toll pavement is it can be paid yearly as part of the DVLA road, where the fees one will pay an amount considering one's vehicle. The environmental pollution at the toll booth is not healthy at all. We should go back to it. Good evening, Nana, and this is Anna Awiti. Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana, this is Kobna from the United States.
Kobna, let me hear you.
Hey, Nana, good evening, and it's been a while.
Yes, let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana, first of all, let me disabuse your mind that Ghanaians, especially the poor, are getting free stuff from the government. They are not. The people who are getting free stuff are the politicians since 1992. Mm-hmm. Especially, let's look at the ex gratia. This ex gratia is free money for the politicians. Now, when you are spending a little bit of money to educate your populace so that they can educate it and pay more taxes, income taxes, it's not. You cannot say they are free. Now, when there's a public policy problem, let's say the pandemic, and people don't have jobs, right? Because it's a public policy something. That you cannot say that is free. No, because you are spending that money to be able to create a society where people are not going to get sick and create problems for Ghana. Are you there, sir?
I'm here.
So these are not free stuff, please. So be on the side of the poor. Be on the side of the poor, and I like your programs that government should rather spend money on technical and other to create more jobs for the people. But when you spend money to educate your populace, it's not free, because especially all around the world, they are spending money to educate their kids from grade 1 up to at least SHS 3. So please don't say these are poor. Now let me come to the levy, and now leave it there.
Just 30 seconds. You see, yes, we have to give them education, but you see, instead of giving them like free boarding, why don't you add that boarding fee to the teacher to motivate the teacher? I mean, why should they even wear uniform? Now, like, you cut the cost, but we do it in excessive. I mean, even the rich countries don't have free boarding.
Nana, I understand your point. That's where debates come in when these politicians want to come to power. Mm-hmm. So we debate the issues. That's what happens in the United States. We spend about a year debating the issues, and then we come up with the appropriate ones that are going to move the country forward, like yours. In UK too, they have a specific period that they debate. And therefore, they are able to get the kind of ideas that will move the country forward. Now, in Ghana, the politicians don't want to debate. Akufo-Addo chickens out, Mahama chickens out. So we just swallow hook, line, and sinker the idea that they bring. So that's what Ghanaians too needs to be able to come up with. We have to debate the issues before we go to the polls and vote. Now, let me come to the e-levy, and then I'll leave it there. Mm-hmm. Will you allow me, sir?
Yeah, 1 second. 1 minute.
Wait, 1 second. Now, Finance Minister Oforiatta came to Yale Medical Center to treat himself. Asked him that the mode of payment that he did they charge him electronically? Did they charge him for payment? Did they charge him for the payment of his medical bills? This man is a disgrace. And we need to do whatever it takes to prevent this transaction from taking place. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. She Rado. Some of the days that you wish we just had more time, right? One of those days that you wish there was just a bit more time. One of the things we need to do is to psych the citizenry to love the nation. It really helps. Psych the citizenry to love the nation. Well, they're very intelligent, sharp-suited, grey suit, blue pocket square, white shirt. This should be TV. Charles Aite is going to bring you the news bulletin. Don't you even touch that dial. Beige up and down, made in Ghana. Kofi Hayford is in the background, warming up with all his tunes selected. Abeku was on the ones and twos. It gets even more interesting. Well, what can I say? This week I brought home, I think, 2 or 3 awards. I'm losing counts. And guess what? My mom also got a citation at church. So this week all my ladies were like winning left, right, and center. So Nanessa from Christ, the Cropon Presby, got a lovely citation. I brought home 3 awards. So we are still counting and going. As for me, I say until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Don't even touch that dial.